Welcome to the Witchy Work Wishes podcast, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. Welcome to Witchy Work Wishes and happy December. Oh my goodness, it's December! We have 4 more weeks wrapping up the 2024 calendar year. And then you know what? We've got some serious business to get into for 2025. But not yet. Right now, as this episode airs, we are in the new moon phase, kicking the month of December off perfectly. But guess what? It wraps up even more perfectly with a dark moon. And spoiler alert, it's not just any dark moon. We get a black moon at the end of this month, which really does end our calendar year with the most perfect energy. Those last steps that we need to harness and work on before the new year begins. That also means that we have some fun topics for this Witchy Work Wishes podcast. Now today I'm talking about flying ointments. I have my big Yule episode coming up next week, and then after that you'll be joining the boys and me for our waning moon and dark moon cocktail episode to start working on that end of the month energy. And then I'll be wrapping up the last episode in 2024 here at Witchy Work Wishes, talking about shadow work and the things that we can personally do in our own practices before the new year begins. It will be a good episode to give both us and our practices some closure before that January 1st day starts. But first, some things I did this past weekend to help in my own personal practice. Well, it was all about decorating my house. The past month has brought workers and subcontractors into my home, fixing the heating, patching up the many holes in the wall from the complete electrical redo that I did over the summer. Oh my gosh, you guys. And when I say holes, I mean huge 4-inch by 3-inch holes. And each wall had 3 or 4 of those size holes in them throughout the whole house. I was beyond some cute little drywall patch kit at Home Depot. So I hired a professional and he did an amazing job. Between that though, and the house now having heat again, it's feeling more and more like a home. I still need to prime, I still need to paint the entire house, but that will have to wait until spring. I know it's all about the holidays for me in December, and January is the most busiest month of the year for me in my bookkeeping practice, so no projects will get done then. February is equally busy, not quite as bad as January, but I've got a couple really busy months coming up. So my guess is I can start doing these projects again with the home in March. But now it feels homey. It looks like Christmas, and the boys, oh my gosh, they're coming home next week. So soon my home is going to be filled with their voices, their laughter, and all of that energy. And that will make everything be okay again. So this is my month, guys. This is my time of the year. I love everything about Yule and Christmas. I love the sounds, the decorations, the family time, the food, the gift giving, from the biggest moments to the small little moments I get to have, sitting in a dark room with only the tree lights on. I love it all. Now, speaking of the month of December, I pulled the Patreon card for us to work on, and it's a good one. And once again, just perfect for the energy and direction for the journal prompts and the spell over there. I worked with the energy for a couple of days, but it was instantly motivating me to create the journal prompts for our December worksheet. Now, my theme has been, more like sitting with the energy on, the last 2 card pulls that I did for October and November. But I'll tell you, this time with the December card, it didn't take long. I knew right away what I wanted to draft out for us. So head over to Patreon, look at the card pull and the description posted there for our witchy Patreon family. I'll post the journal prompts next week to support the card, and then we can work on those together. And if you are a loyal listener, you know I had some big workings to do this past weekend. I have not found a bunch of reasons to do, I don't know what we would call, dark magic in our practice. For the most part, I really don't care what other people do or don't do. I'm kind of you do you, boo. As long as it doesn't hurt me and it doesn't hurt anybody else, just you do you, right? But an issue arose in my life that needed tending to, and some baneful magic was needed. So I did. And this past weekend, being another big weekend with one of Hecate's days on the 30th, which also happened to fall on a dark moon, well, I went to work and I practiced in an area that I don't dabble in much. Now, if you want more information about what I did and how it turned out, I did share the experience with my Patreon family members, so head over there for more details if you want them. Now, I mentioned last week adding the cat claws and the cat whiskers to my merchandise page on Witchy Work Wishes, but I totally forgot to ask, what do you guys need? What are you wanting to add to your practice that you can't find elsewhere, for purchase? I personally like to fill gaps. I like to fill those voids, and I really want to help support your personal practice. So please reach out to me and let me know. If it is something that I can create for you, I will help. Now, if you've not been to the website yet, it's super easy. Just search for Witchy Work Wishes and it'll pop right up. Look at the merchandise page and let me know what you think. And again, let me know if you need something personally in your practice that you just can't find somewhere else. Now, before I jump into today's topic on flying ointments, I really want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for your continued support, your curiosity, and your open hearts. Whether you're here to learn, to grow, or honestly just simply explore the magic with me, your presence means everything to me. I am really loving our energy. I think together we are that little tapestry of connection, empowerment, and inspiration, and I'm just so grateful to have you on this journey with me. Now, if this episode happens to spark something within you, please share it with someone you like, who might need a little extra magic today. All right, speaking of extra magic, flying ointments can do it. They have come a long way since their early days, really evolving from potent and sometimes perilous concoctions into safe and versatile tools for us to use today. So whether you've dreamed of soaring through the astral realms, connecting with your spirit guides, or just unlocking maybe a little extra magic in your practice, this episode is for you. So grab your favorite cup of tea, light a candle, and let's explore the history, the magic, and the modern day uses of these magical tools. Today's episode broken down into 3 main sections. First, you guys know I love pulling the history on my topics into the podcast, so I'll be exploring the historical and folklore context of flying ointments, their origins, cultural significance, and then some myth versus reality with them. Next, I'll be reviewing our modern uses and practices of flying ointments, grabbing some safe ingredients, some DIY recipes, and how we can use them in our practices today. And third, I'll also be giving some suggestions on how we can use flying ointments in connection with our jobs, work, and corporate world. I love a good little historical segment in each of my episodes when talking about a new subject, so let's go ahead and just start there. I think throughout time we have sought tools to transcend the mundane and step into realms unseen by ordinary eyes. Among these tools, none are going to be as storied or I think as misunderstood as the flying ointment. So today I'm going to take you on a quick little journey through its historical roots, its cultural resonance, and the interplay between its mythical and real properties. At the tale of the flying ointment really does begin in the shadowy past of medieval and early modern witchcraft traditions. Long before witch was a term whispered with fear or disdain, wise folk in villages and forests crafted potions and salves to connect with the spirit world. These ointments were not merely, concoctions of whimsy, but they were carefully designed to aid in what we now call spirit flight, journeys of the soul beyond the physical realm. Now, in my own practice, I have definitely felt the echoes of those who came before me. The recipes they used often incorporated plants with potent properties, such as belladonna, henbane and datura. But these herbs are not to be trifled with. Their very essence bridges the gap between the material and the mystical, granting visions and sensations beyond our ordinary comprehension. So it is said that the flying ointment was a means of traveling to sabbats, gathering of witches under moonlit skies, though such tales were often exaggerated by inquisitors looking to, of course, spin webs of fear. In truth, these ointments more often facilitated astral projection or shamanic journeying, a practice where one's spirit detaches to explore distant places or, spiritual dimensions. So whether the witch flew on a broomstick or, soared through inner landscapes of the soul, the sensation of freedom was intoxicating. Now, flying ointments are more than a tool. They are a key to altered states of consciousness, a way of breaking the barriers that bind the human spirit to this physical plane. Now, to apply the ointment was to invite transformation, to let go of one's earthly bonds and, allow the self to dissolve into the infinite. The historical accounts of flying witches paint vivid pictures of nighttime journeys to sabbats. One tale, for instance, recounts like a witch that smeared the ointment all over herself, and she claimed that she had danced with the devil himself in a faraway meadow. Such stories, often extracted under duress, right, during the witch trials, have become tangled in layers of fear, superstition, and certainly misunderstanding. But the core of these tales, the idea of transcendence, of stepping, beyond the ordinary, remains a truth that we understand well. So even now, as I mix a salve of mugwort and lavender for safer explorations, I think of those accused witches whose recipes were seized as evidence. Their work was never about malevolence or rebellion, but about seeking connection to the earth, the cosmos, and the divine. Modern scholars often debate whether the famed flying ointment was literal or symbolic. Were these witches truly flying, right, soaring through forests and over villages, or was the sensation of flight a metaphor for the liberation of the spirit? I believe it was both. The psychoactive herbs used in traditional recipes undoubtedly induced powerful sensations, right? Tingling limbs and weightlessness, the rush of air even when standing still. But to say this was mere chemical trickery, I think ignores the heart of the craft. Like for us, flight is not confined to the body. It is an act of will, a journey of our spirit. So some scholars, I think, dismissed the flying ointment as, little more than like a hallucinogenic experiment, an ancient precursor to modern psychedelics. But they miss the point. The true magic lies in the intention, the ritual, and the belief that makes the ointment a conduit, not merely a chemical reaction. For me, crafting and using flying ointments is a sacred act, one that honors the witches who came before me. It is an invitation to step into the unknown, to embrace the mystery that lies beyond the veil. So whether, I take flight with a salve on my skin or simply through meditation, the journey, it's real and it's always transformative. So flying ointments are not just relics in the past, they are tools of timeless power, waiting to guide those of us brave enough to use them. And as I write this, the faint aroma of herbs fills my space. It's a reminder of the magic of flight that is always within our reach. All right, as a practicing witch, I have always felt a deep connection with the tools of our craft, right? Among these, flying ointments definitely hold a special place in my heart. Rooted in ancient traditions, these magical salves have evolved into something safer and more accessible for modern witches. In our time now, we can embrace their essence without the dangerous consequences of toxic ingredients. So let me take you through how flying ointments are used today focusing on safer ingredients. I've definitely grabbed a couple DIY recipes, and let's talk about their versatile applications in our practices. One of the first lessons I have learned, I think, as a modern witch, is the importance of respecting the power of herbs. While historical flying ointments often use psychoactive, and even poisonous plants like belladonna, henbane, and, datura, today we have safer and equally effective alternatives. Nature has gifted us a wealth of plants that can help us achieve altered states of consciousness without the risks. So herbs like mugwort, lavender, chamomile, and blue lotus have become definitely some staples in my magical apothecary. So mugwort, for instance, this is an herb that I grow in my own garden. It is a powerful herb for enhancing dreams and, facilitating that astral travel. Lavender, it's another herb I grow in my garden. And chamomile, they bring soothing, protective energy that also helps to ground us while opening up the mind to subtle spiritual vibrations. Blue lotus, revered for its mildly euphoric effects, it aids in deepening meditation and connection with higher realms. So as I craft my little ointments, I'm always mindful of the need for proper herbal knowledge. It's not enough, you guys, to know a plant's name or its, mystical reputation. We need to understand its properties, effects, and how the herb interacts with the body is going to be crucial to our practices. I think some witches are going to prefer to consult with an actual herbalist or, read extensively on herbal medicine before experimenting. And honestly, I encourage this diligence. After all, right, flying ointments are tools of transformation. They are not toys. And their creation demands respect for the energies that they evoke. So a witch's flying ointment isn't limited to just ointments. I think the term has evolved to include other mediums like, teas, tinctures, and gummies, and even smoke blends that are going to help facilitate similar effects. While traditional flying ointments are certainly topical salves that are applied to the skin, their purpose, altering consciousness, aiding spirit flight, and enhancing dream work, can be achieved through a variety of herbal preparations. So I quickly want to do a little side-by-side comparison so you have the information too. And I have their purpose, advantages, and use in some quick, like bullet style pointed reference. So, all right, let's do the traditional ointments first. So purpose, advantage, and use. Purpose, they are designed for transdermal application. They're often going to be applied to our pulse points, to the soles of our feet, or to our temples. Advantages, well, the ointments absorb slowly into the skin. They offer a steady and controlled release of the herb's effect. For the use, these are really going to be ideal for rituals requiring a tactical, physical connection, or, when you want to slowly build the energy. For our teas and infusions, purpose, advantage, and use, these are ingested, right? They allow the herb to work internally and often more quickly than our flying ointments. Advantages, gosh, they're super easy to make, right? They're customizable. Each of us have a different palate, so we can create our teas to really be something that we would enjoy to drink. And they can be incorporated really easily into rituals like, a bedtime dream work or some type of meditation tea. For their use, I think they are great for enhancing our dreams, connecting with spirit guides, or that just the quieting of the mind for astral projection. For example, a tea made with mugwort, chamomile, and blue lotus can have similar effects to a flying ointment. All right, our tinctures, purpose, advantages, and use. These are concentrated herbal extracts, and they are taken in small doses to achieve similar results. They are highly potent and long-lasting, so tinctures can be stored for long-term use. And as far as the actual use of them, honestly, it's just a drop or two under the tongue before meditation or ritual work is going to provide a focused and portable alternative. With our smoke blends and incense, purpose, advantages, and use, the purpose of these, definitely inhaling herbal smoke or using incense helps to create an atmosphere that is conducive to altered states of consciousness. Advantages, they're fast acting and they're useful in setting the tone of a ritual or meditation. For the use, burning herbs like mugwort or damiana can help clear the mind and enhance visions during our spiritual work. Now, I personally created my own label of THC gummies called Moonface gummies. These are also a great substitute for the typical flying ointment, and they really do serve as a modern alternative to the traditional flying ointments. So the Moonface gummies help by facilitating relaxation, altered states of consciousness, and deeper introspective, much like the original purpose of our flying ointments. While I think traditional ointments definitely rely on, or they did rely on, that psychoactive plant like belladonna, mugwort, to aid in spirit flight or dream work. THC provides a safe and legal way in many areas to explore similar states of heightened awareness. So it doesn't have to be my Moonface gummies, but if you use gummies in your practice, these are kind of some of the steps I think I would focus on to help you with the experience. Before consuming the gummy, just treat the process as you would, any part of your magical practice. Create a sacred space, light your candles, use some type of cleansing tool like, sage or sound to prepare your space. Focus on what you wish to achieve. Dream exploration might be one of them. Connecting with spirit guides might be something. Astral projection, or even just a space for deep creative thinking. Speak your intention aloud or, write it in your journal. And then start with a low dose, especially if you are new to THC. You want a light, manageable effect to facilitate your work, not overwhelm it. Second, I would use them for like dream work and meditation. My Moonface gummies, specifically are particularly going to be effective for dream-related practices. So before you go to sleep, take the gummy maybe like an hour before bedtime. These are water soluble. Soluble? I didn't say that right. Soluble. So you don't need hours to wait for their effect. So, but like an hour before bedtime, along with a calming tea like chamomile or even mugwort. Be careful adding too much in, but this will help enhance its effects. Keep a notebook if you can by your bed, some way to record your dreams as soon as you wake up. THC can help make dreams more vivid and more meaningful, which is really going to help provide some insight into your subconscious. And then pair the gummy with a meditation designed for astral travel or, connecting with the spirit guides to deepen your focus and relaxation. You can use gummies for spirit flight or astral projection. After taking the gummy, lie down in a comfortable position, focus on your breathing, allowing the THC to help you relax and detach from the physical. Use guided imagery to fly or, to travel to your desired destination, such as a sacred grove, an astral temple, or a meeting with your guides. THC's effects can enhance the vividness of those experiences. And, pair the gummy with grounding tools, like a hematite crystal, something to ensure you remain energetically balanced during your work. The Moonface gummies are great for exploring creativity and insight. For witches, I think using flying ointments to access creative insights or problem solving is going to be very, very powerful. Consume the gummy before journaling, before you do spell work or divination. The THC can open the mind to new perspectives and encourage deeper intuition. And you can use the gummies to enhance artistic pursuits like painting, drawing a sigil, crafting magical tools, or just designing a wonderful vision board that you can work with and manifest on. I also think, we can use this and pair it with other magical tools. So to elevate the moon phase gummy effects and like mimic the multi-sensory experience of traditional flying ointments, we can burn mugwort or lavender incense to create that soothing, mystical atmosphere. We can sip a grounding tea like chamomile or peppermint. Oh my gosh, peppermint. That is a tea that I drink so often, you guys. Like, I just love everything about peppermint. But, sip a grounding tea after taking the gummy to balance the effects of the THC. And then also apply a non-toxic blend of oils like lavender, rosemary, or frankincense to your wrist or your temples to add that sensory magic. More than anything, I do want to say, just before I wrap up the gummy stuff, my moon phase gummies, they're powerful tools, but they should be used responsibly. So know your limits, you guys, right? Avoid high doses that could cause anxiety or disrupt your ability to focus. Choose a quiet, safe environment where you can fully immerse yourself in the experience without distractions. And after your session, it's great to take time to ground yourself by eating, journaling or meditating. Reflect on your experience to integrate any lessons learned. I think gummies, again, it doesn't have to be my gummies, but gummies can be a modern witch's ally for exploring altered states of consciousness, enhancing dream work for sure, and or honestly just facilitating meditative journeys. While it doesn't replicate the herbal complexity of traditional flying ointments, it certainly aligns with the same goals of expanding our awareness and connecting with the unseen realms. So by using gummies, I think with care, with definite intention, we can create a powerful ritual that bridges ancient practices with some pretty modern contemporary tools. I think while the term flying ointment traditionally refers to salves, of course, its core purpose, facilitating altered states for magical and spiritual practices, really can be achieved with teas, tinctures, gummies, or smoke blends as well. So your choice of medium is going to depend on personal preference, right? Also, what your ritual's intention is, and definitely the desired speed and intensity of effects. So as long as the preparation is made with intention and knowledge, I think it's going to remain true to the essence of a flying ointment. All right, let's talk about some DIY recipes. Creating a flying ointment or a tea, which are the two examples I've pulled for today, it's as much about intention as it is about ingredients. So I often begin with a ritual of grounding and centering myself and setting a clear intention for the work ahead. Here's the basic recipe that I found effective, blending both safety and spiritual potency. So a modern flying ointment that I use, it has a base, it has something for astral projection, it has something for protection and relaxation, and then it has something for grounding and peace. I also add a little bit for dream enhancement and then something for some energetic protection. So if you want to do this at home, these are the ingredients if you want to mimic what I do. So for the base, you're going to either use coconut oil or shea butter. I use coconut oil, but there's a tablespoon of that. For the astral projection, I personally use mugwort powder. You're going to need a teaspoon of that. For protection and relaxation, I use lavender essential oil. You're actually going to need a whole teaspoon of that one. For grounding and peace, I use chamomile flowers. Again, another teaspoon there. And then for dream enhancement, I like that blue lotus resin. So it's just a few dried petals on that one. And then personally, I like to add a little bit of oomph, a little bit of energetic protection, and I like clove powder for that. So that is just a tiny little pinch of clove powder. So again, my personal blend, a tablespoon of coconut oil, a teaspoon of mugwort powder, a teaspoon of lavender essential oil, a teaspoon of chamomile flowers, a small piece of blue lotus resin, again, just a couple dried petals, and then a tiny little pinch of clove powder. So first, I melt the coconut oil. It's not a lot, you've just got a tablespoon in there. And then I add the mugwort powder, the chamomile flowers, and the blue lotus. I let those mix and infuse for a good 15 minutes. I strain out the solids, and then I add the lavender essential oil and the clove powder. And I stir while, focusing on my intention for this flying ointment. I pour the mixture into a small jar and I let it cool. Now, to use, just anoint the salve to your temples, to your wrists, to the soles of your feet. One of those spots before meditative work or bedtime. Be sure to perform a patch test beforehand just to make sure you don't have any allergic reactions. And that's it. That is a wonderful DIY home flying ointment. All right, let's do a tea too. So I will honestly drink just straight mugwort tea, but a good dream enhancing tea recipe is going to be using mugwort, chamomile, and that blue lotus petal again, and maybe a little splash of honey. That's usually what I do, or the agave. Something just to add a little sweetness and grounding energy. So mugwort, you're going to need a teaspoon of that, chamomile, another teaspoon, and blue lotus petals, another teaspoon. So 1, 1, 1, and then a splash of honey. Boil your water, pour it over the herbs into, or like a tea strainer bag, and let it seep for a good, so again, you guys do you here, but I let my tea steep for a long time. I would say a good 5 to 7 minutes. I will honestly, in all transparency, I go a lot longer. But once it's to your taste, strain the herbs and honestly enjoy. Throw a little drizzle of honey, a little drizzle of agave, something to kind of sweeten it up, and sip mindfully, focusing on your intention for dream work and spirit connection. So flying ointments today, oh my gosh, you guys, they serve as bridges between the physical and the spiritual. And for many witches, myself included, they are tools for exploring the unseen realms, often used in connection or conjunction with, like meditation, dream work, and connecting with our spirit guides. So in my practice, I turn to these ointments when I need clarity or I need guidance. Before bed, I might apply a small amount of my homemade ointment to my temples and my heart, and then set an intention to remember my dreams or connect with a specific spirit guide. Sometimes I'll brew a tea instead, and I, sip on it as I prepare for a meditative journey. And then also I often use the moon phase gummies to assist with the physical and spiritual bridge. Flying ointments can be powerful aids in our ritual work. When working with the energies of the full moon or, seeking answers during divination, I think these salves enhance focus and open our minds to subtle energies. And the process of applying the ointments becomes part of the ritual itself, right? It's a moment to center ourselves and invite the spirit of the herbs into our sacred spaces. It's important to note that using flying ointments responsibly is key to their effectiveness. As witches, we must always balance ambition with self-awareness, right? Knowing our limits and practicing discernment. For example, I never use these tools in situations where I need to remain fully alert. If you're working with heavy machinery, it feels like a disclaimer, but be smart, you guys, right? You don't want to use them before you have any important commitment. Respect the boundaries of these herbs. It's a big part of honoring the craft, our craft, and ensuring that these sacred tools remain a source of empowerment, not harm. I do want to do a quick emphasis on the importance of grounding after any work with flying ointments too, whether it's, through a grounding meditation, a hearty meal, or simply walking barefoot on the earth. Grounding brings us back to our bodies and helps integrate these experiences that we've gained on our journeys. Okay, let's talk about corporate world and our work in flying ointments. Using flying ointments for professional growth at work might seem unconventional, but we know magic and intention can blend beautifully with the mundane world to achieve personal and professional goals. Flying ointments, traditionally used for altered states of consciousness and spiritual exploration, can really also serve as tools for clarity, focus, creativity, and intuition, qualities that are essential for our career advancement. So here's how we can incorporate flying ointments, I think, into our professional lives. First one is going to be enhancing creativity and problem solving. Flying ointments can help us tap into deeper layers of our subconscious, where creative solutions and innovative ideas often reside. So before brainstorming sessions, before planning projects, or just tackling complex problems at work, a small amount of flying ointment, tiny amount, little bit, can be applied to pulse points like temples or wrists. The herbs in the ointment, such as mugwort or blue lotus, whatever you're using, they stimulate imaginative thinking. While lavender or maybe chamomile, can keep the energy calm and focused. So practical spell idea here is going to be to apply the ointment, light a candle, and focus on a specific professional challenge you're facing. This does not have to be while you are at work, right? When we are talking about using our flying ointments, using things that alter our state of mind, it's not going to be happening at the office, right? That is a moment where you need to be professional and clear-headed and clear. So this is something I would do at home. Apply the ointment, light a candle, and just focus on a specific professional challenge that you're facing. And meditate on the problem. Allow your intuition, like trust your gut, right? Allow it to guide you to solutions or new perspectives. And then write down any insights or ideas that come to you during your session. I think we can use them for supporting confidence and our powerful presence. Flying ointments, when paired with some type of ritual of empowerment, can help us step into our professional role with confidence and a magnetic presence. For example, before an important meeting, presentation, or interview, you can use a grounding ointment made with chamomile and clove to center yourself, right? This isn't going to bring you out of your body. This isn't going to make you astral travel, but it is an ointment that is going to help you at the actual office. So, doing with chamomile and clove, just to center yourself. Visualize walking in the room with calm authority, supported by the protective energy of the herbs and ointment. So for this, I would just rub a small little amount of the ointment on your throat or even your heart chakra, focusing on clear communication and confidence. Repeat something like, I speak with clarity and authority. I am confident in my abilities. My success is inevitable. Okay, let's see, what else can we do? We can use it for strengthening focus and productivity, right? If you're working on a long-term project or some type of task that require, sustained attention, flying ointments can create a sacred sense of focus and flow. And by incorporating herbs like lavender and mugwort for this one, those are going to, balance relaxation and mental clarity. I think they can help you tune out distractions and align yourself with your goals. Okay, so for this one, since mugwort is involved with this one, this is something I would do at home, not at the workplace. But I would apply the ointment to your temples or maybe even the back of your neck. Sit and visualize yourself completing your tasks with ease and efficiency. Use some type of aromatherapy too, maybe or maybe some calming music alongside this little ritual to create a productive and magical work environment. We can use flying ointments to cultivate intuition for decision making. I think in many professional settings, intuition can be just as important as logic when it comes to making decisions. I've talked about this often recently. Trust your gut. Trust yourself. Flying ointments can help heighten intuitive awareness, honestly, just allowing you to sense the best path forward. It could be something about negotiating a deal, making a career change possibly, or just honestly navigating the office dynamics. So for this one, for cultivating our intuition, I would do a spell that can be used, before making a significant work-related decision. Anoint yourself with a flying ointment designed to enhance intuition. That could be mugwort and lavender, maybe a little touch of sage for clarity. Make your own concoction here with the herbs that you know and trust. And then meditate on the decision, right? Holding the question in your mind. Pay attention to the feelings, maybe some images, whatever comes up and arises for you. And then journal your impressions and use them to guide your actions and to help cultivate your own personal intuition. Another area I think we can use our flying salves and ointments is going to be our dream work for our own personal professional growth. Dreams are often going to be a source of untapped wisdom. So by using flying ointments, before bed, we can invite dreams that provide insight to our career paths, or maybe a solution to a professional challenge. So herbs, again, like I keep saying mugwort, it's one of my favorites, but herbs like mugwort and blue lotus are going to be especially effective for enhancing dream recall and clarity. As far as bridging this into our dream workplace, type practices, I would apply the ointment to your wrist and your temples, and then set an intention for your dreams before you go to bed. Show me the path to success, or guide me in handling workplace conflicts. Whatever the situation is for your professional growth, and then, keep a journal by your bed. As soon as you wake up, record any dreams or symbols and reflect on how they might relate to your professional life. I think we can use the ointments and the salves for our professional goals. They can be used in larger rituals for manifesting our full career success. For instance, we might create a vision board or, like a written spell for our professional goals, and then anoint it with the ointment to infuse it with the magical energy. So a good spell for this one is going to be, like before you write down your professional goals or, create manifestation rituals, anoint yourself with a flying ointment to connect with your higher self and to clarify your intentions. Visualize your goals as though they are already achieved. That is a big part for us as far as manipulating energy. It's not what we want, it's what we already have, whether we already have it or not. So feel the excitement and the satisfaction of success. This goal that you're talking about has already been achieved. So set your ritual by placing a dab of the ointment on a talisman or some type of object that is associated with your career. You can use a pen, a notebook, but honestly, your desk. You could use your desk at work. I think this is going to be a big one for us aligning our professional goals. And finally, I think just protecting energy in the workplace is important, and we can use the flying ointments for that. Our work environments can sometimes be energetically draining, especially if they are fast-paced or, involve challenging dynamics. So flying ointments that use protective herbs like clove, rosemary, frankincense, they can act as shields, helping us maintain our energy and ward off negativity. So an easy energy shield ritual would be something like, before you leave for work, apply the ointment to your solar plexus or the base of your spine, visualizing a protective bubble of light all around you. Throughout the day, take moments to breathe deeply and reconnect with this protective energy. Okay, flying ointments and salves, teas, gummies, smoke blends, whatever you're using. I want to say 3 things before I close up. Timing, moderation, and integration. Reserve the use of flying ointments for moments when you can safely focus on your intentions without interruptions. Avoid using them when operating machinery, driving, or during highly physical tasks, right? If you need to be on, this is not the time. Moderation. Use small amounts. Start super small and with lighter herbal blends to ensure your body and your spirit respond well to the mixture. And then always, as far as integration, always ground yourself after using flying ointments for professional growth, for any type of growth. Not doesn't have to just be the workplace. Anything you are doing. Journaling or reflecting on the experience can help integrate magical insights into actionable steps, which is what our journeys are mostly about. So I think they've come a long way. Flying ointments have really, honestly and truly come such a long way since their early days, again, evolving from, those potent and sometimes perilous concoctions into safe and versatile tools for us modern witches. By using safer ingredients, by crafting our own personal recipes, and embracing their use in our dream work, our meditation, our spirit connections, I think we can honor the legacy of this magical tradition while making it our own. For me, creating and using flying ointments is an act of both reverence and innovation. It's a way to connect with the wisdom of those who came before us while forging paths that feel authentic to our own spiritual journey. Each salve and tea is a reminder that flight, in whatever form it takes, is always within our grasp. And with the right intention, a little magic, and the gentle power of the earth's gifts, I think we can soar beyond the ordinary and into the realms of the divine. Well, I do have a poem that I wrote about our witchy flying ointments and, of course, the moon update for this week. I am going to go grab those notes and I'll be right back. Well, it is a little poem today. I did not have a bunch of time this past weekend for a really long one. You guys know what I was doing. I was out doing some work. But it's cute and it's perfect for our flying ointment topic. And it goes. With herbs and oils a witch does blend, a potion to make the spirit transcend. Lavender whispers and mugwort calls, through dreamy realms the spirit falls. A touch on the temple, a dab on the skin, the veil grows thin as our journey begins. Guided by stars and the moon's soft light, we witches take flight into the starry night. All right, our moon for this week in December, well, right now she is waxing, which I will tell you is certainly helping me with all of the holiday energy that I need to get everything done. So we just finished up her new moon phase, and now she started growing. So the waxing moon, the period between the new moon and the full moon, it is a time of growth, expansion, and increasing energy. So as the moon grows brighter each night, its energy supports actions and intentions that involve building, attracting, and manifesting. So here are a couple ways that, we can use this energy during the waxing moon. First one is going to be to set intentions and goals. The waxing moon is ideal for focusing on what you want to grow and manifest. It is time to set clear intentions for personal or professional goals for sure. It's time to begin new projects or ideas that require energy and momentum. It's time to plan for long-term growth in areas like career, our relationships, and our spiritual development. It is about manifestation and attraction. As the moon draws in light, it's perfect for attracting what you desire to draw into your life. It's about manifestation spells, rituals, or visualizations. It's about attracting abundance, love, opportunities, and success. It's about bringing positive energy into your home and workspace. The waxing moon is about building confidence and strength. This specific phase supports our own personal growth and our own personal empowerment. So focus on gaining confidence in yourself and your abilities. Focus on practicing self-love and positive affirmations. Focus on strengthening your willpower and your determination. The waxing moon is about nurturing growth. So just as the moon grows in the sky, it's a time to nurture our relationships by investing time and energy into deepening those connections. It is a time to nurture skills and our talents by starting to learn something new. And it is a time to nurture our health through new routines or self-care practices. The waxing moon is a great time for energizing creativity. It's about creative pursuits, with artistic projects. Write down new ideas. Seek inspiration for problem solving or innovation. Channel your creativity into your magical or mundane endeavors. I would also say building momentum. This is a time for anything that requires a gradual buildup of energy. Take actionable steps towards goals that you set during the new moon. Focus on forward motion and steady progress. Begin habits or routines that you want to grow stronger over time. So it's all about action, you guys. Like right now, it's a time to work with the forces of expansion. So lean in, tap into the energy with an open mind and a clear vision. And I think this is a perfect way to start December, don't you? All right, next week. Next week is the big Yule 2024 episode. I do have 2 previous episodes about Yule back in 22 and 23, but each year it really is important for me to keep adding to them and expanding on what is happening around us and what is available to us for our Wheel of the Year celebrations. And Yule is no exception. So be sure to come back and join me next week as I talk about the magical celebration of Yule. And before I say goodbye, I do want to take a moment to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your presence, your energy, and oh my gosh, your curiosity make this journey so meaningful. Whether you've been with me from the beginning or you're just joining me now, I really am deeply grateful for the time that you share with me here. Every download, every listen, every word of encouragement fuels this podcast and reminds me why I started it in the first place. To connect, to inspire, and to explore the magic in all of our lives. And your support really does mean everything to me, and it's because of you that I can continue creating and sharing. And oh my gosh, you guys, have you seen how much we have grown recently? Like, it's happening. After 2 years of episodes and building Witchy Work Wishes, it's happening. So thank you. Thank you. I know it's because of you. So as you go about your week and, things start getting really busy in this big holiday month, remember that the magic that you're seeking, it's already in you. So keep shining your light, embracing your power, and walking your path with intention. All right, until next time, stay witchy, stay wonderful, and honestly, thank you for being a part of this incredible community. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week and weekend, and I will talk with you next week. Thank you for joining me today at Witchy Work Wishes, a place to find your weekly inspiration for bringing your personal witchcraft practice into your business, work, and office. For more information and additional content, please visit me online at witchyworkwishes.com. If you want to send me a personal note, please email me at info@witchyworkwishes.com. And of course, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. Just search for Witchy Work Wishes.